In the pages of the industrial history books, there are few names that loom as large as Andrew Carnegie. A self-made captain of industry and affectionately known as the Prince of Steel, Carnegie rose from humble beginnings to become one of the wealthiest and most influential figures of the Gilded Age. His journey from penniless immigrant to steel magnate is a tale of ambition, innovation, and philanthropy that continues to captivate and inspire. Today, on the Great Scots channel, we are going to delve into the life and times of Andrew Carnegie, exploring both the extraordinary achievements and lesser-known facets of his remarkable story. Andrew Carnegie was born on November 25, 1835, in Dunfermline, Scotland, during a time of severe economic hardship for his family and his community. His father, Will Carnegie, struggled to make ends meet as a weaver, prompting the family's decision to immigrate to the United States in search of better opportunities. Settling in Allegheny, Pennsylvania, young Andrew began his American journey working long hours in a cotton mill as a bobbin boy. Despite the challenging circumstances, Carnegie's thirst for knowledge and his industrious spirit propelled him forward. Carnegie's career trajectory changed when he entered the workforce as a messenger boy for a local telegraph company. Joining the company as a telegraph messenger boy at the age of 14, Carnegie taught himself how to use the equipment and was promoted to the position of telegraph operator. Carnegie's thirst for knowledge and entrepreneurial spirit caught the attention of Colonel James Anderson, who opened his library to local working boys, a rare opportunity in those days. Through the years, books provided most of Andrew Carnegie's education, remaining invaluable as he rapidly progressed through his career. In 1865, Carnegie decided to start his own business, recognizing the potential for steel in building the foundations of what we now know as modern America. His first investment was in the Keystone Bridge Company. Working alongside Keystone exposed him to the concept of vertical integration, which would later become a cornerstone of his business strategy in the steel industry. Vertical integration involved owning and controlling all stages of the production process, from raw materials to finished products. This approach allowed Carnegie to streamline operations, reduce costs, and maintain a competitive edge in the marketplace. A modern example of this would be a company such as Amazon, managing their own warehousing and logistics solutions. Carnegie's innate curiosity and determination led to rapid advancements, eventually landing him a position with the Pennsylvania Railroad. It was here that Carnegie's entrepreneurial instincts flourished, as he seized upon investment opportunities presented to him. From ventures in sleeping cars to investments in oil and steel, Carnegie demonstrated an uncanny ability to spot lucrative prospects and turn them into profitable enterprises. In 1873, Carnegie formed the Carnegie Steel Company, which would become the cornerstone of his steel empire. By integrating iron ore mines, coke ovens and steel mills, Carnegie streamlined production and reduced costs, positioning his company for unprecedented growth. His technological innovation and modernization in the steel industry was unprecedented. He invested heavily in new manufacturing techniques and equipment, including the Bessemer process for mass-producing steel. Carnegie Steel Company rapidly expanded its operations through strategic acquisitions and the construction of new facilities. Carnegie's aggressive expansion strategy allowed the company to capture a significant share of the market and outcompete rivals. Notable acquisitions included the purchase of the Homestead Steel Works in 1883 and the Duquesne Steel Works in 1892. Despite Carnegie's success as a businessman, his tenure at Carnegie Steel Company was marred by labor disputes, most notably the Homestead Strike of 1892. The Homestead Strike had erupted in response to wage cuts and poor working conditions. This resulted in both violence and bloodshed, tarnishing Carnegie's reputation as a champion of labor rights. In 1901, Carnegie decided that it was the right time to sell the Carnegie Steel Company. He had long harbored ambitions of dedicating his wealth to philanthropic causes and social good. By divesting himself of his business interests, he could devote his full attention to charitable endeavors and the promotion of world peace and education. He made the decision to sell the company to J.P. Morgan's newly formed conglomerate, U.S. Steel Corporation, for a staggering sum of $480 million, equivalent to roughly 1.5% of the entire U.S. GDP in 1901. The sale of the company marked a significant moment in the history of American industry and finance. To put the sale in context, this would roughly equate to around $14.9 billion in today's market. Andrew Carnegie's later years were consumed with his philanthropic efforts, which were wide-ranging and impactful, spanning various sectors including education, libraries, scientific research, and peace advocacy. His public libraries were said to be one of his greatest and most notable contributions. He developed a love for reading at a young age and believed that access to knowledge was essential for social progress and democracy. He donated funds for the construction of over 2,500 libraries worldwide, known today as the Carnegie Libraries. Carnegie also established educational institutions, including Carnegie Mellon University in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, and the Carnegie Institute of Technology, now part of Carnegie Mellon University. In 1887, Andrew Carnegie commissioned the construction of a new concert hall on the corner of 7th Avenue and 57th Street in Manhattan. Today, this is one of the most famous music venues in the world, coveted by artists from all over the world. Designed by architect William Tuthill, Carnegie Hall was constructed in the Italian Renaissance style and featured a grand auditorium with impeccable acoustics, making it an ideal venue for musical performances of all genres. Over the years, it has welcomed countless legendary performers, including Leonard Bernstein, Duke Ellington, and the Beatles, among many others. In 1889, Andrew Carnegie penned an essay titled The Gospel of Wealth, which outlined his philosophy on wealth accumulation and philanthropy. In the essay, Carnegie argued that the wealthy had a moral obligation to use their wealth for the greater good of society. He advocated for the concept of surplus wealth, whereby the wealthy should donate their excess riches to benefit the less fortunate. The Gospel of Wealth became a seminal work in the field of philanthropy, influencing generations of wealthy individuals to dedicate their fortunes to charitable causes. Andrew Carnegie passed away on August 11, 1919, at the age of 83 at Shadowbrook, his estate in Lenox, Massachusetts. His death marked the end of an era and the culmination of a remarkable life marked by industry, innovation, and philanthropy. By the end of his life, it is estimated that Carnegie had given away around 90% of his wealth for the greater good of mankind. Andrew Carnegie's story reminds us that true greatness lies not in the accumulation of money or power, but in the legacy of kindness, generosity, and love that we leave behind. This is the story of Andrew Carnegie.